This is a call for an uprising. Welcome to today's show. As I pointed out in another video, I'm going to be testing out and taking out, I should say, my intro cartoon for a few of my uploads to see if I can get past these bots, because that video has been flagged apparently as hate speech. I'm not sure if it's because the flags that are waving in front of the White House or not, but just giving you a heads up. I wanted to talk a little bit about the police. Yes, the popo. Now, most of you, when we talk about these false flags, right? And we talk about, the police attacking black people, and if it's a hoax or it's a false flag, but then people get really deep down the rabbit hole and they don't want to believe it's real because they say, yeah, but then that means the police have to be in on it, or is that guy an actor hired by the police? And I wanted to talk about the fraternal order of the police and their ties to Freemasonry, because that's pretty much what it is. Because most of these police officers are indeed Freemasons and a part of the FOP, which is a fraternal organization which consists of sworn law enforcement officers in the U.S., and it reports a membership of over 325,000 members organized into 2,100 local chapters and Masonic lodges organized into state lodges and, of course, the national grand lodges. Now, why is this important? It's important in a lot of ways, because the police are being used as stooges to set up martial law. Now, technically, if you want to look at it and say we already have martial law, you could say that. But it's not the martial law you've seen in the movies before, with tanks rolling down the street and people holding machine guns. Will it get to that point? We don't know. One could assume, yeah, because of the predictive programming that's been planted, that that's what it's going to end up being. But I personally still believe that most of this stuff that's going to happen is going to be asked for by the citizens, not forced upon, but that doesn't mean that there won't be army tanks driving up and down our roads. The police are cooperating with the higher-ups because this fraternal order that they're a part of takes orders from other elites and other globalists, and these things get passed down. So they're in on this. So when I talk about, wow, how ridiculous a lot of these stories are, because you'll see, a white cop attacking a black person over and over, right? Last year we saw it all the time. And you get to a point where you go, are any of these guys self-aware? Are any of these white police officers, the second they pull a car over and see it's a black person, are they aware they shouldn't put their hand on their gun? Are they aware that they should be overly nice because of everything that's going on in the world, right? That's what common sense would tell us. But we continue to see the same acts, right? Beating down at black people, attack. Because they're taking orders, they're doing their bidding. And it doesn't mean that the black people who are being attacked aren't part of fraternal organizations either, that the act is being played out that way. But all you have to do is look at, for starters, a lot of the badges that the police officers wear, these secret oaths that are taken, are an allegiance to Freemasonry. And that goes above public interest. Masonic oaths taken and alliances and allegiances given can be conspiratorial towards those outside the Brotherhood for not being a member of the Brotherhood. And the public interest is always going to come second to their allegiance to the interest of the elites. Or I should say their allegiance to the Brotherhood, to the Freemason Brotherhood. Now look at all these states which have badges. You have the Louisiana State Police that have the Masonic badge on it, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, New Mexico, Arizona. You can name the state. It's got it on there. You can see for yourself. And you can see the logo used for the Fraternal Order of Police, which, of course, is what? I don't know how many times I have to mention about the star being a pentagram. I say it over and over, and I hear other people out there who claim to be awake talking about a star as if it's just a star. It's a pentagram. It's 5 points. That's the point of the pentagram. It's the points on the star. And you can see a star, again, a pentagram, being used inside of what? Inside of a circle, right? Their ritual circle with the pentagram. What else do you see on it? Well, of course you see the all-seeing eye. Why wouldn't you see it? It's everywhere. Remember, all this stuff's in our faces. You can even see the secret handshake right on the logo. And I'll read you what the Fraternal Order of Police are. It's a fraternal organization consisting of, I said this already actually, but I'll re-say it. Consisting of sworn law enforcement officers in the U.S., it reports a membership of over 325,000 members. That's 325,000 police. It's a lot of cops. Organized into 2,100 local chapters, lodges, organized into local lodges, state lodges, and the National Grand Lodge. The organization attempts to improve the working conditions of law enforcement officers and the safety of those they serve through education, legislation, information, community involvement, and employee representation. In other words, no, it's not what it's there for. Right? You see the all-seeing eye, you see the symbols. Remember, this is how they get away with stuff, obviously. Oh, it's there, it's a group, it's an organization that protects the safety of the, right. This is how they control stuff on the ground level, right? Because they have the police at the bottom of the barrel here who are Freemasons, who are taking orders from high-ranking 33rd degree Masons, who are taking orders from people above them inside of these satanic, secret societies. And it gets filtered down. And that's how they create this stuff. That's how they put these shows on, because the cops are told what to do. They understand about the New World Order. Right? What's the big deception that the Masonic lodges have? They always talk about how they have a Bible on an altar inside of their Masonic lodges. Some of them, the White Lodge, I believe, specifically claims that. It's a joke. And then they go, well, we don't talk about religion and stuff in here. No, you don't. The only thing you talk about is your worship of Lucifer. And all you have to do is look at Pike's teachings. And it talks openly about how Lucifer, they claim, is the morning star. Lucifer's God. And this is our police force who are practicing this. Doesn't mean every single cop. I don't know. Does it? I don't know many cops. But the only cops I've known in my life have not been followers of Jesus Christ. I'll tell you that. It says the Fraternal Order of Police was founded in 1915 by two Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania patrol officers. They and 21 other members of the Pittsburgh Police met on May 14th, 1915, establishing the Fraternal Order of Police, its first local Fort Pitt Lodge, number 1. It talks about how this escalated and how it continued to move forward and more lodges were formed. Now you can see the emblem and motto. The Fraternal Order of Police emblem is a 5-pointed star. The 5-cornered star tends to remind us of the allegiance we owe to our flag, is what they claim. No, it's your allegiance to the craft is what it is. It's your allegiance to Lucifer, to black magic, and what you guys, Freemasons, call the craft, right? Which is just ironic, isn't it? How Masons call what they do the craft. And we know the term the craft, right? Which is used witchcraft. Witches and Satanists call black magic the craft. All right in front of our faces, folks. So it says that the star, again, the 5-pointed pentagram, is more about the flag and a symbol of the authority with which the police officers are entrusted. It's an honor the people we serve bestow upon us. They claim, they place their confidence and trust in us, and they are here to serve us proudly. No, they're here to serve one person. I shouldn't say person, one thing, and that's Lucifer. And this is where it gets funny, because then they address the other stuff on it. It says, midway between the points and center of the star is a blue field representative of the thin blue line protecting those we serve. The points are of gold, which indicates the position under which we are now serving. The background is white. The unstained color representing the purity with which we should serve. We shall not let anything corrupt be injected into our order. Therefore, they claim their colors are blue, gold, and white. The open eye is the eye of vigilance. Not the eye of Horus, folks. Not the all-seeing eye of Lucifer here. The eye of vigilance. Ever looking for danger and protecting all those under its care while they sleep or while awake. The clasp hands denote friendship, right? So you see the Masonic handshake, that's what it is. It's a Masonic handshake and it's the all-seeing eye, but it means vigilance and it means friendship. And this is how stupid of a society we live in, because it's the same symbols over and over and over. Music videos, TV, movies, buildings, government buildings, Mason lodges, all of this stuff, using the same stuff. And people still refuse to believe that there are secret societies that are operating in this country because they're so blind by their own pride, where they go, oh, what do you think? You figured something out that I couldn't fit, you know? Oh, yeah, oh, you're... Because they're prideful. They don't want to, oh, how could you figure something like this out? Or, oh, that's not true. They want to be naive to it because they love this materialistic matrix they live inside of. It says the circle surrounding the star midway indicates our never-ending efforts to promote the welfare and advancement of this order. So, lie upon lie upon lie. I'll tell you what all of it means. This is a 5-pointed star. It's called the pentagram. It's not the Baphomet pentagram, which is the upside-down pentagram. There's two, right? They claim the upside-down pentagram is used in black magic. And oh, the regular pentagram is white magic, some people claim. I mean, it's just nonsense. It's a satanic symbol, any way you look at it. So you have the 5-pointed star inside of a ritual circle, which represents, I mean, look at the two. Tell me that these aren't the same symbols. Tell me that this is not the same thing as that. Why? Because the corners of the star kind of stick out. Oh, boy. Well, they're in a different color, too. It's the same thing. And then you get the eyeball right on it. So, folks, I wanted to point this out so people are aware that there are fraternal orders of police, and most of you probably already are aware. But it just, with what happened over the weekend, I know I hadn't done a video talking about the police fraternal organizations, but this is how, when you want to start thinking about this, well, how can they do that? How can they do that? That means everybody's got to be in on it. Well, this is why there's a Masonic lodge in every town in this country. I've been cross-country multiple times in my days. I've been through towns that had 75 to 100 people, the signs would claim. Looked like those ghost towns you'd see, you know, in The Hills Have Eyes or something like that. You'd see abandoned stores. You'd say, boy, this is a creepy town. Probably some weird crap going on here. And then what will you see? You'll see a Masonic lodge right downtown. And you'll just shake your head and go, are you kidding me? Because they're everywhere. Every town. And why do you think that is? Because a bunch of guys who were in fraternities in college wanted to join another fraternal organization, so the government had to make sure every town had one of these set up so they can go drink beer and watch football together? That's what the common person will tell you, because they don't want to believe this stuff is true. And they know Masons, a lot of which aren't even third-degree Masons, which means they don't really even know what they're doing. But they've taken an oath, and they're in for life. They can repent and get out, but as far as the Brotherhood's concerned, they always belong to them. They always have to pay their Masonic dues and all that stuff, which is their yearly fee to be a part of the organization, whether they want to be or not. They'll come and collect, that's for sure. And this is why we live in a state of affairs that we do. Because they've built this thing from the ground up. Now, people will argue about the different levels, and obviously, you know, is the Vatican higher than the Jesuits and higher than the Zionists, and who's here and who's there. But we all know that Masons are a part of it. And we all know Masons are a lower level part of it. But this is how they're on the ground floor. Because they're set up in every town. They're set up to create false flag events in certain towns. Maybe not a hick town that has a couple of hillbillies who are part of the Masonic Lodge. But this is how they implement this stuff. Because they have people working for them at all different levels. So remember that. Remember that when you hear these things and people claiming that they're not real, don't go, well, is it real? How could it be real? How could everybody be in on it? Well, everybody's not in on it, but these organizations, these fraternal organizations are in on it, and they can easily plan events like this while everybody else is out doodling around on their iPhones, going to work, slaving away at a cubicle, doing nothing productive. They're planning these things, and these people are paid to do that. These cops who lost their jobs over, the Black Lives Matters, you don't think that they were compensated and that they've moved up and are doing something else? They're not going to be blacklisted for life from working. So what? They're not a cop anymore. That's part of the oath they take in the Brotherhood. Good. You're not a police officer anymore. Now you're going to be a CEO of a corporation or something else. Or you're going to work in intelligence. This is the world we live in, folks. So the fraternal, the FOP, the Fraternal Order of Police, and their lovely logo of the pentagram in the ritual circle with the all-seeing eye and the Masonic handshake. But hey, We're supposed to see that and just believe it means friendship, unity, and they're here to protect us. Yeah, give me a break, would you? I thank you for listening to today's show. And I want to thank everybody out there again who has helped this channel by becoming patrons and patrons on Patreon and through PayPal. I greatly do appreciate it. I'll leave the links up below. Thanks for your continued support and your kind words. We're all fighting through all of this nonsense in the world today, so support like that, it does mean a lot to me because the censorship is really draining and it is irritating, but I'm battling through it the best I can. I thank you guys again. God bless all of you and your families.